A couple of months ago, I visited a local neighborhood office here in Birmingham, and I observed something that was heart-wrenching. A gentleman in his late 50s, early 60s was trying to articulate what he needed. You can tell he was an immigrant. He was speaking English, however, despite all his efforts, the council official could not understand the person. After what seemed like 4 attempts, the man broke down. And where I was standing, I observed it. And I said right there at that very point in time, I said, wow, we could do something about this. No longer should any immigrant have to go through such a harrowing experience just because they could not be understood. You see, that's what community is all about. There's a need that people have that you and I can meet. There's also a need that you have that other people can meet. And that's what community means. Coming together, meeting the needs of each other. And so, by the grace of God, I-60 Church is organizing a 4-week intensive learning experience titled Public Speaking Masterclass for Immigrants. And what we want to do is that we want to empower them to be able to communicate convincingly with clarity and confidence. And you have a role to play in this vision, and I'm going to share that with you very soon. A lot of immigrants, whether they're asylum seekers, refugees, they come here and they mean well. Many of them are seeking for greener pastures. Some of them have a family to feed. Most of them have families to feed. And many of them come from English-speaking countries. So they already have a connection with Britain in the sense that we speak the same language. Some of them come from Commonwealth countries. And the challenge is that based on the mannerisms and cultures of where they're coming from, they speak English, but they may not be well understood. And then they've got to deal with that anxiety and fear. I'm an immigrant. Am I going to be accepted by the British people? Is my English good enough? Can I speak well? And many of them miss out on wonderful opportunities, not because they don't have the know-how or the skills. It's just that they're not able to communicate convincingly to that interviewing panel that I am the right person for the job. And so we're not trying to give them a handout. No, we're trying to empower them with a skill that will last with them for a lifetime. That skill is called public speaking. And I'm sure there have been times that you have had said no to an opportunity to speak just because you're wondering, how am I going to overcome the stage fright and the nervousness? Guess what? Multiply that by 200 times. That's the fear and anxiety that many immigrants in Britain go through on a daily basis. And if we can help them, if you and I can help them as a church, if we can help them, you know what that means? Now they're able to get opportunities whereby they can feed themselves and they can also feed their families. Isn't that a mission that Jesus would support? Yes, it is. And so I-60 Church is going to subsidize substantially what they would have paid as an admission fee to this course. In fact, we're covering 90% subsidy of the admission fee so that they can just pay a fraction, 10%. Public speaking courses can cost hundreds of pounds just for a day. And we're taking them through that 4-week experience. You're saying, Pastor, why 4 weeks? Well, you see, if you want to see true transformation in a person's life, a 1-week workshop will not do it. Think about it. The average immigrant is in their mid-30s. That means that they've lived for over 250,000 hours on planet Earth. Do that math. You can't do a 1-day workshop and that transform how they speak or give them the confidence that they need to articulate themselves with clarity. Guess what, too? Some of them, in fact, many of them, are Christians. And so when they are equipped with that skill to articulate themselves with confidence and clarity and speak convincingly, they can now use that skill to share the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. Proverbs chapter 28 verse 1 says, "The righteous are as bold as a lion." And then Psalm 45 verse 1 says, "Thou have made my tongue to speak like the pen of a skillful writer." That refers to eloquence. And then in Colossians chapter 4 verse 4, the Apostle Paul said that the church should please remember him in their prayers so that he can speak well what God has given him as a message to speak. So all in all, as we add value to the lives of these people and their families, we're also helping the work of God. Can we count on your support? You know, God loves a cheerful giver. And as Apostle Paul said, I've got my Bible here in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 14. Apostle Paul said, "At the present time, your plenty will supply what they need." I know you're saying, "Pastor, plenty? I don't have plenty." I know we've got the cost of living crisis. We've got so many things. And there's some of you who are looking forward to doing your Christmas shopping and so on and so forth. But guess what? Maybe God may lay it on your heart to say, you know what? All right, you know what? We're going to sacrifice a Christmas gift this time around. As a family, here you go, Pastor. Here's £50 to help towards the expenses and the costs of this learning experience. And you may say, "Pastor, I still don't have plenty." Guess what? A tenner, £10 is plenty to an immigrant, because some of them right now don't have any means of earning a living. They've got the skills and they speak English. It's just that many lack the confidence, the clarity, and the communication skills to speak convincingly. We're counting on your support. You can click on the link in the post description and, give a donation, give a contribution. Let it be from your heart. As you probably know, this is the first time ever that I-60 Church will come out to make a plea for donations. But it's because we know we can't do this alone. However, this is a God-given assignment, and we know deep down in your heart you can identify with this need. So please click on the link on the post description, or if you can see the QR code, scan the QR code and go ahead and give willingly. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 12. It is when you give willingly that your gift is accepted by God. God bless you. Let's make a difference in the lives of these precious ones.